G2, and I want to see if they've actually worked on this in this 2-week break.
100% agree with that, and I think the part of that people are seeing as the slightly weaker half is Labrov. Skewmond has had actually
Kind of dodge that Q ability. It's going to be very hard for Broken Blade to have any sort of proactive trades onto him.
Labrov going in onto Mickey here. We'll have the trample stun. Mickey crashes down, gets the shield back up, Upset the new target. Heal coming out from Labrov. The stun lands, the cleanse away. Upset has to flash as well. I thought the stun of Akali's burst damage is pretty substantial.
Yeah, and I think Caps has played the Akali Corki matchups a lot of time. Actually, we'll see quite top.
Cease and desist. Chain of Corruption is going to come out from Hans Summer in a second. You have to feel the flash forward. There's the chains, but Hans locked up by Razork, and he will fall first. And Labrov chased away as well. And Fnatic will settle for what?
Yeah, and we talked about it. That's the Rumble Vi combo. That's so many.
A heavy commitment. I guess the good news for Broken Blade is Herald is still 2.5 minutes away, so we will have his ultimate available for that, but no flash. It's not what you like to see. Now, Mickey, no flash available for him.
Chain of Corruption is going to land. Caps there for the chase as well, and Mickey's down. Hans Summer gets G2's first. Times too many on that weak side. Fnatic, though, haven't got out to the early lead that marked their split so far. Caps jumps in, the cease and desist. Caps dives into his demise. The CC knock-up chain from Fnatic was absolutely flipping perfect. Chase continues as Razork goes in with a Vault Breaker. Skewman's going to try and jump his way away to the Gromp. Hans Summer here to shadow. G2 need to walk away. They should be able to escape. Hans Summer, though, does still have the flash and the cleanse. Won't need to expend either to get out of Fnatic's clutches.
A beautiful response from Fnatic. Caps this ever-looming side lane threat.
Setting up around it. Currently a little bit pincered. Vault Breaker goes in, Razork flashes forward, Hans Summer cleanses away, but look at Skewmond, he's already down to about 400 HP. Labrov is left out to dry, and he'll dry pretty damn quickly. Fnatic lock him up. They're third on the board. Razork's looking for more as he tries to steal away the red.
And once again, G2
in Fnatic's favor. Triforce complete, Nash's tooth already done for Humanoid, and components of his next item as well. Flash forward, Magnet Storm. This is where the cease and desist that was saved from earlier comes to pay dividends. Hans Summer survives, but is hit by a rocket. Upset threads the uprights and finds him. Caps jumping in here. Skewmon hit, the wind becomes lightning. Upset the target, but look at the damage back on the Caps. Humanoid slides in, the Emperor's Divide. Caps goes in with perfect execution, but Upset still has a flash to escape. Labrov is down, Caps follow suit, and Fnatic clean away G2.
Fnatic once again coming out on top in these skirmishes, and I really have to say that G2 are still showing signs of incoherence. As we see the Ornn actually in the mountain will block the Herald there, but as talking about the Ornn, I feel like Broken Blade hasn't been in a single fight.
You were talking about how often it would seem like Broken Blade felt he had to force something in a 1v1 on the top side because the rest of the map was collapsing, and now he's forcing onto Oscarinin in the bot side. TP coming in. Oscarinin hasn't lost that much health yet, but with Caps joining the fight, there's the shutdown. Caps gets a kill, and G2, when they force...
Can't really afford to be proactive just because the punish would be so great from these double or single teleports that will come in.
Wait it out so you can get the second items. Caps caught out here. Labrov waiting around the corner, sees desist coming in as well. As Humanoid dives forward, and the Emperor's Divide spells demise for Caps. Labrov now on the wrong side of that wall. Skewmon diving in to try and help, but there's the TP. Hans Summer on his way across as well as Broken Blade. Skewmon already down to half HP. Labrov trying to get onto the backline as well, and Hans Summer's been able to pick up one. Equalize onto Hans, and Skewmon will force him away. Broken Blade calls on the Forge God. Will his prayers be answered? In a 1v3, I think not. Make it forward as Oscar comes around the corner to clean things up. Razork now 4-0-5.
G2 don't have the tools to force anything, but Fnatic's generate a numbers advantage. But Caps, he was just trying to go back to base. He was trying to reset. Mickey catches him out again. And I feel like that Mickey has been the bane of Caps' existence.
Absolutely, I think Mickey and Razork, every single play has come from either one of them finding a really good pick.
Oscar chunked out a little bit there. Caps looking for Mickey as well. That was personal. LeBron dies in. Emphasis Divide from Humanoid to keep himself safe. Chain of Corruption goes out as well as Humanoid has to slide away. G2 get a pick in mid lane as LeBron flashed in,
which kind of stops the stall point for 2 more minutes. As I say that, Fnatic are coming in deep here.
Mickey's on his way, currently about the Razor Pit. Labrov chunked out. Unbreakable Will is pretty damn breakable right now as G2 try and disengage. Equalizer down, cease and desist in, and the Crescent Guard doesn't guard you if everyone's on top of you. Oscar in and kills off Skewmond. 2 kills to Fnatic. The Drake was secured by G2.
Will be the Azir, but also the Rumble, as I say here, is very easy to kill.
Call of Fortune coming out from Broken Blade. There's the TP immediately in from Caps. There were a couple of deep wards behind Oscar in here, but Broken Blade just trading in. Equalizer down, Broken Blade tanky enough, but Caps will be here to secure the kill. Broken Blade should survive, and he will do so. Meanwhile, in the top side, you can see Humanoid and Razzle. Caps, though, has stayed around a little greedily for this bot lane tier 1. Razzle's on his way across, as is Upset. Caps does have that Twilight Shroud, can try and dodge away. Jumps through Upset, but the season says quick on the trigger there from Razzle. Means that Caps can't escape. Upset now 5.
Really has been Razork's game so far.
Oh,
We're talking about Scumon's Shincha, but it's been a pretty quiet game from him. We haven't really seen the impact that we were talking about in Champions League of this pick. And I feel like it's really due to the fact that Razork's proactiveness is something else.
Flash away from Hans Sommer as Mickey jumped in with the Magnus Storm. The follow-up as well from Humanoid, but he's stopped in his tracks. Humanoid down, Broken Blade escapes the Equalizer, just for a bit of chip damage more than anything else. And so the red buff will be secured by Razzle. Look at the damage from Hans Sommer.
And this is where you could find the lead.
I think G2 has decided to give up to the Drake quite a while ago. They're going to try and set up vision towards that top side. Mickey stepping in onto Lebrov. Will land the knockup, will land the stun, but where's the follow-up for the rest of the team? Mickey dives forward, knocked back by Lebrov. Razzle coming in as well. That Equalizer not doing much as Caps gets onto Oscar in, and Humanoid flashing forward, looking for the Emperor's Divide. Hans Sommer somehow survives. Razzle glow. Hans Sommer Upset, able to take him out. Valkyrie in forward. Caps down as well. Somehow Fnatic have won the fight after G2 engaged it 4-0.
They take 4 members of G2 out of the game, and they may very well set their sights on the Nexus. There's only Broken Blade left standing in their way as Fnatic dominating here in game 1.
A lot of skill shots went by that fight. I think the Varus ult didn't really connect onto anyone, and I think the Corki was just really, really strong. Humanoid found a great shuffle onto Hans, but in the end, I don't think it's enough.
Fnatic pushing in. Broken Blade dies under his Nexus tower. It's not tanky enough to survive the Fnatic onslaught. And in a statement game, Fnatic go 1-0 up in the series.
Coordination issues coming through from the side of G2. But my goodness, Mickey and Razork, their coordination was on point. They made it so difficult for Caps to play the game. Razork was everywhere on the map. Mickey was covering where he needed to. And Fnatic, I mean, with a few mistakes here and there for sure, overall, a very clean game.
Well, we're gonna get the positives. G2 won't have to ban Rumble every single game now. They can actually, it's actually not gonna be in the pool anymore.
Talia has a way of punishing her dashes on her ult.
Yes! Yes!
Oh, we get the Yorick.
It's not great in the lane, and then you hit your Morning Mist, and all of them will spawn and jump onto the champion that you've hit that Morning Mist on.
Razork.
He's fine. No way he gets caught here.
He's not fine.
No way! Oh, he has to flash. Okay, maybe he does get caught here. There's the charm follow-up. Aegis Assault not going to block any damage. Skumon on the board for G2.
That ward on the entrance to G2. And the wave state's not too bad for him either. That wave is pushing into him. He's already level 5 as well. And an ideal ult, he can set up a bit of a freeze for his Razork.
Razzle looking for Broken Blade. Try and get the double jump. Didn't quite land it. Dark Possession not able to keep Broken Blade close, far enough away from the wall.
There was
to stop the flash.
A very narrow window there where if he'd flashed, he would have just flashed into the wall. But he gets the spacing right. And now both top laners find themselves without a flash.
Razzle looking for Caps in the mid lane. Caps still has his flash, but just burnt his teleport with the wave pushing in. Should be able to catch it. Lebrov was roaming up towards mid and is caught out by all of Fnatic. Upset gets Fnatic's first of game 2.
And it looks like Lebrov walked into... Oh my god,
nice
charm. Never stops.
Nice charm. Humanoid bailout into the shield. Mickey saving his mid laner with that shield. I
think this matchup doesn't really become that good until way later into the game. So really, really nice display of the individual mechanics by Oscar, but the action never stops.
Again, like Skumon and Lebrov invading together here, but Caps is nowhere near them. Seismic shove, Skumon dashes forward, and Fnatic immediately collapse. We talk about disjointedness. Senna so far, so has hit that first breakpoint on Senna, sacking every 20. You get more of those stats. Wallop coming out from Broken Blade into the Dark Possession. He's in the cage. The Maiden chasing him down as well, but with Skumon on his way, Oscar realizes he might be the one in a little bit of danger. LeBron coming around the corner as well. There's the Cyclone. Oscarinin will be taken out. Bailout won't save him. Grand Starfall coming in immediately into the hook. Razzle dive forward, looking for Skumon, who flashes away himself. The Riptide from LeBron will get the slow into the concussive blows as well for a bit more CC. LeBron trying to get in range to maybe hook himself away. Flashes away. There's the hook, and he manages to get to safety.
The time to space him away from the Pantheon and powered Q and got out there with the nick of his life.
Upset going in. Oh, last embrace. Killed a minion there, so immediately procced onto Upset. He couldn't chase any further forward with that crash, burst lightning. Caps now going in onto Humanoid. Seismic Shock going to try and get him away. Humanoid does still have flash here. Will he use it? The answer is a definitive no. G2 claim the feat of warfare with their third kill of the game, but for it, they lose 3 grubs.
Online once again. This is one of your best timings, look.
Steel Caps for Oscarinin though. Caps caught out a little bit here. Skumon's going to dive forward onto Humanoid. Weaver's Wall coming out. Skumon able to survive for the moment with the Seismic Shove coming back. He has no escape. Fnatic find their third. Oscarinin was gnarred underneath the tower, and now Broken Blade can try and chase him in the mini form. Oscarinin has a few of those minions to help him out. Flashes forward, maybe thinking he could land the last rights to get that 3 grubs and the first Drake over to Fnatic.
I just love the fact that I feel like everyone is skill checking each other.
Oh, that hook! But Mickey's waiting around the corner. Caps coming in as well with the TP, but LeBron has backup. Humanoid dies. The bailout won't save him. The charm lands onto Mickey. LeBron takes the first kill, lands the hook for Caps to follow up to take number 2. There's the assist for Skumon, there's the kill for Caps.
Bended like Beckham.
It is action across further away, but Caps has more than enough damage, and of course the Senna ultimate to provide that additional bit of safety. The flash from Broken Blade.
Into the Gnar, into the ward. There's the follow-up with the Cyclone, but the Dark Procession locks them both in place. Broken Blade, Goomba stomps his way towards Oscar in second Cyclone hits, and that's the Maiden lost again for Oscar.
And the Maiden is widowed, and it's Yorick falls down now. They actually don't have the grubs, but still this is really nice for Broken. It's gonna look to get some plates there with the Demolish proc with the grasp, and when he gets there, shouldn't force this. Gnar's gonna become a menace.
Also, takeover lands with the Berserk. Razzle going in for a little bit more CC. Caps has no flash, no Spirit Rush, but maybe the charm's enough for him. Aegis Assault from Razzle will get the shutdown. Meanwhile, LeBron caught underneath the tower. Mickey and Humanoid healthy enough to keep chasing in. Upset with the lightning. Crash looking for a bit more damage on Unsummer. He has to flash away. LeBron looking for the CC on Mickey, but he can't find it. Humanoid takes the tower, and Upset manages to escape.
We've got 12 kills in 12 minutes.
Let's go! These two don't have control of that river right now. They're trying to get control of the mid-wave. LeBron hooks forward. Shaken back with the handshake. There's the hostile takeover as well, but it doesn't really find anything. Flash hook! The spark surge, not enough. There's a death charge follow-up, bailout on Upset, but no one's low enough for him to really utilize it. Mickey has to flash away. Razzle now in the midst of 3. Another good handshake onto Skumon. Another good hook from LeBron. These Qs aren't missing. Humanoid dies to Caps in a 1v1 on the bot side.
And it's LeBron James with a slam dunk on mid lane. What a crazy hook, 2 in a row.
As he finds another solo kill. You're seeing Oscar trying to put pressure down on the sideline, but he's also starting to struggle. Caps, though.
Caps is dead. Yeah, there's no real escape from that.
Not much that he can do about that one. Razork using his ultimate to find that
Oscar has a flashback. TP behind him as Broken Blade looks for the Gnar. We'll have the one-up follow-up, so we'll get the one for nil so far. Humanoid coming in. Broken Blade doesn't really have any tools to escape this. Humanoid looking for the chase.
I don't think he has the
fights.
damage.
Wallops forward. There's the Seismic Sharp, and Broken Blade has his jump back up. Crunches his way to safety.
It's the solo laners of G2 stepping up. We have Broken Blade with a solo kill. Caps with a solo
Mickey
kill.
has no flash. Like, there's no way Mickey survives this. It will be Hansama who secures the kill. Oh, it's Skumon actually that gets it. Now 5-2-1 on this Wukong.
I mean, where do we even...
Because they're playing better as a team. It's just because Broken Blade, Labrov, and Caps, Macro, and Micro, and what am I saying? Micro is just so strong right now.
Oh, I 100% agree with you. And G2 are just constantly putting their foot on the gas. But Broken Blade maybe went a bit too early. Dawning Shadow enough to shield him. But he's hit with a spear from Razzle. Now the Aegis Assault coming out. Labrov gets another hook. They're going to target Humanoid first, but he has a stopwatch. The Seeker's enough. The hostile takeover still hits the Berserk. Now Labrov left out to dry as Oscarinin and Mickey close in. Upset looking to jump across the wall as soon as we praise G2. Fnatic find 2 in response.
Humanoid and Razork getting massive outplay in a 2 versus 3. You talked about how Razork has a 100% win rate on this champion.
Celestial opposition, keeping him tanky enough for the moment. Fnatic started up the Drake, it's at 5,000. Hansama stepping forward, another charm. Hostile takeover though from Mickey Buffer. The smite goes down, it's Skewman who secures it. Razork going in, there's the Dawning Shadow as well. And look at the seals with the Cyclone coming out onto Razork and Oscar in. Another charm onto Oscar, he's gonna die. Broken Blade going back in. Another hook from Labrov lands and he manages to walk away with 50 HP. Upset dashing forward and Cam still has a Spear of Us to spare. Razork flashes in, Upset kept them on the edge, and now the Grand Starfall for the chase on the Skewmon. But Razork's gone way too deep, way too fast. The Ancient's Assault doesn't last for ages as G2 get a kill on the enemy jungler to round things out. 4 kills in 23 minutes. The Drake secured for G2, puts them on 2. Humanoid now, though, does still have the flash. Dash in from Skewmon. Good seismic shove as Mickey's caught up towards the top side. Humanoid able to escape. Mickey does not have that same luxury. Caps on the chase. Weaver's Wall out from Humanoid, but Caps is looking for Razork instead. The charm, we'll say it missed. It definitely missed. Put himself a little bit lower in case a Fnatic decided to fight. They won't. The Artican will go to G2. Oscar is still pushing in their top side.
My goodness. So Hansama finds himself at 82 stacks at about 24 minutes, and he's only going to continue to scale as Labrov fishes for a hook.
Once again, there's the charm as well onto Razork. Labrov falling low. Hostile takeover coming out. Labrov survives for a long time, but in the end, Upset takes him down. And the TP in from Broken Blade slams Fnatic against the wall. There's the charm to follow up. G2 just obliterate Fnatic.
It's a beautiful team fight from G2 as they get themselves the ace. Another hook from Labrov. Yes, he's died 5 times, but he has made those deaths worth.
And it's just a really, really clean up from the Gnar.
And Baron on spawn for G2 out of it. A clean fight from G2 leads to them.
Split as G2 with the Baron lays siege to the tier 3 towers.
Charm goes wide there from Caps. Broken Blade just shepherding a minion in the mid lane. Upset's going to try and deal with that. Has 2 items on this Zeri. Caps, though, goes in with a charm and down goes Upset. Had the opportunity to flash but didn't use it. Perhaps didn't see over that wall as Caps finds his mark and Labrov says anything you can do, I can do too. Flash hook on Humanoid. He'll fall as well. Hansama pushing in here. The Maiden will keep them at bay for the moment, but Oscar's now slowed with a piercing darkness, and G2 are adding another name to the list. Oscar falls. It's all on Razork and Mickey to try and defend. They have the hostile takeover. That Renata ultimate may be enough to buy them a few seconds, but they need 15 before Upset respawns.
So only the Nexus Towers left standing. Razork, I don't think he can defend this.
He was charmed, he was walloped, he was gnarred into the wall. The handshake on Broken Blade will cause him to fall. Mickey finds one, gets that shut down, gets the gold. Mickey still holding on, looking for it. The burst lightning coming out from Upset won't be enough. G2 will even out the series 1-1.
And G2 fights back in game 2. They find so many crucial individual highlights. You can make a montage now of G2 in this entire game. So many crucial moments coming down by Labrov, by Caps, by Broken Blade, even by Skewman. Hansama has great games all across the board. Really, really solid play from G2, and very excited to see going to game 3.
I just hope we get that many kills in the rest of the series. We're going to go to a short break. We'll be right back. See you after this.
I know that recently some changes were made to her where they tried to take some power out of Tibbers and put it elsewhere into her kit to give her more upfront and early game power. As a champion into Hui, Mickey.
He was looking to burn the heal, I think, or as many summoners as possible. He does get the heal out of the Labrov, and now Razork is waiting around the corner. Hansama has cleanse back up, still has that flash, but flash in from Razork into the dazzle stun. Fnatic get first blood, it goes to Upset. Labrov should be able to clear out this wave underneath the tower, as Skewmon still hasn't passed towards his top side. Comes trying.
The season 13 champ because Hui just feared, did more damage in exchange, and then gave himself a shield, and then was like, cool, nice burst, Danny. Still though, Caps trying to force the mid laner out, but it looks like G2's looking for a play.
Nice, really nice positioning from Skewmon. Immediately jumps in, they dive forward to Oscar in, and Skewmon was waiting in the wings for his time to strike upheaval out from Razork. He lands it, but Broken Blade healthy enough. pops the potions, and he's over.
So the grubs, Mickey ticks over to level 6, and now they set the sights on the Hans. Hans doesn't have the ult.
Radiance. There's the dazzle, cleanse away. Unsummer underneath the tower, gets the root, but the Cosmic Radiance comes out. Upset flashes forward. The bait's call will be enough, but with the rend. Flash away from LeBron, but the follow-up from Mickey. LeBron will fall 2 kills, and just as I doubted them, the Fnatic bot lane comes to life.
And they have a 24 CS lead.
Oh, Caps. He just TP'd into the top lane. The rest of his team's nowhere near. Upset cleanses away. Caps. He perhaps thought the rest of his team would be close enough to follow this up, but he's going to get chased out by Upset. Mickey gives him vision in the bush, and there's the rend. Tibbers on the chase. LeBron coming in as well, but he doesn't manage to land the knock-up. Skewmon eventually will find it for him. Mickey now chasing it in. LeBron hits 6, lands the quickness onto Mickey and Humanoid. Razzle on his way across the spiraling despair. It's agony for G2. They manage to pick up another, but they lose 3 for it.
The aggression from G2, I mean, you get the idea.
That.
Poppy ultimate coming in clutch there, and that's another factor when it comes to the team fights. Sumon's ability to just remove people from the fight is very valuable as Broken Blade, he jumps in.
He jumps in. There's the counter-strike quickness for the follow-up. They're looking for the damage. The charm onto Razzle means the Ishtar's impact won't connect. And now G2 in a 3v2 as Upset's already fallen. Mickey, Flash about to come back off cooldown. He continues to try and trade in with that bravado, but he's not brave enough to survive. G2 find 2.
And it's Upset versus Broken Blade, and Broken Blade comes out on top. The top laner.
But the problem for G2 is, even though they, Broken Blade has been in this really strong position, he trades up here with the Grandmaster's Might, the counter-strike coming out as well. There's the stun, but doesn't really want to follow up. Oscar Winning dashes forward. Skewmon coming around the side. Broken Blade will look for it. Oscar Winning flashes. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Cap's still pushing in. Broken Blade almost down. Counter-strike again. Oscar Winning might fall first as Humanoid can't kill Broken Blade in time. Will get the kill in the end. The rest of Fnatic begins to collapse. The Impel flashed away by Skewmon. Camps continues to push through bot. Rift held, now summoned for Fnatic. They want an extra member to replace Oscar in it.
Fnatic, I mean, I think that was an overstep from Oscar trying to go for the fight. Stun comes through from Mickey. The Herald will crash down, and it's looking to be towers traded. Upset
dashes in. Ishtar's impact from Razork. Unsummer, not enough damage to really work his way through the Fnatic front line right now. You can see Razork tanky enough. Back coming out from Caps, now he TPs in. Broken Blade 4 seconds before he's able to join the fight. Skewmon looking for that flank position onto Humanoid as well, with no vision in the bush. The counter TP comes out. Caps goes in. There's Tibbers. Humanoid falls low. Ishtar's impact. Cosmic Radiance as well. They need to kill Humanoid before he comes down, but now he's invulnerable. Caps forced down towards the bottom side of the fight. Humanoid forced away. Caps falling low. Upset stunned up. Mickey the next target as Broken Blade dives forward again with a lead strike. LeBron going in. Flash from Broken Blade. He's going to kill him. Upset. No, he's not. Snip from Oscar Winning. He keeps Upset alive. G2 begins to collapse as Oscar Winning now needs to run for his life. He should be able to escape. LeBron still chasing forward, but Oscar Winning can skip and slash his way away. Flash forward from LeBron. Caps has the stun lined up. Hallowed Mist will buy him a second, but he's still stunned up. Skewmon slams him into the wall and sends him to meet his mate.
It's a big pickup for him, but the Void Staff finish for Caps is going to give him a lot more burst.
Yeah, and look at the summoner spells.
We don't have time.
They have no
happening again. There's the Impale. Broken Blade looking for the counter-strike as well. Doesn't quite land on Humanoid. He's feared away with the Grim Visage. Humanoid able to run away for now. Gleaming Quill will heal LeBron. Broken Blade on that front line. Takes the spiraling despair back. Severing bolts enough. Humanoid finds Broken Blade, and now G2 are the ones on the retreat. LeBron down to 200 HP, has to dodge away from the Severing Bolt. Upset chasing Caps as well. Doesn't have the stun, but with the bait's call, he won't have time to use it. Caps down, Humanoid unstoppable as he claims his second of the fight.
This time round, Humanoid was connecting. He did the damage. Now the difference between them. Third item very close to being completed from Humanoid. The third item being worked on by Upset.
Oh, Flash, but the Keeper's Verdict chase him down. This is going to swing the gold a little bit, Betty. 1K into the pockets of Hans. Flank wards, though. There's a couple of wards behind Fnatic here, and double TP available to G2.
Oh, as you say,
coming around. There's the TP coming out from Caps as Skewmon looks for the chase. Humanoid knocked up, has no flash. The charm onto Humanoid as well. Cosmic Radiance comes out just in time to save the Fnatic mid lane. Tibbers there as well. Good double stun. The Spiraling Surveyor's going to do a huge amount of work, and Upset begins to open up. Unsummer caught out by Oscar Winning towards the backside. That Cosmic Radiance perfectly timed. Skewmon will get one in response, but G2 have already lost 4 of their players. Fnatic still chasing Skewmon out. The Ishtar's impact won't catch up. Razork He wants to kill his enemy jungler. Upheaval goes wide, and now Skewmon should just be able to charge his way away.
I mean, you're gonna lane against her. This is way more optimal into the team fight.
Oh, TP in.
As they say that, they're looking for the team fight. They're gonna start this barrier and try to force Fnatic to respond to them.
So Caps is trying to act as a flanker here. LeBron is trying to keep his verdict goes down. Humanoid's going to step in here, but as you say, the Baron secured for G2. Fnatic look for a little bit more. They can't get in. G2 able to walk away. Don't take the quick route, Broken Blade. He will. Counter-strikes forward. Razzle comes in. There's the Impale. Broken Blade on a totally different page to the rest of G2. The Dazzle doesn't proc. Broken Blade will die. Side lane 2.
Now it's Caps who finds himself in some danger.
Dodges away from the Severing Bolt, but here comes Oscar. Tibbers down. Humanoid almost falls alongside it. Tibbers going to try and chase him out. Caps looking with the stun onto Oscar in as well, but doesn't have the cooldowns. Oh, Tibbers runs away at the inopportune moment. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the Blade Caller coming out. There's Cosmic Radiance as well. LeBron doesn't have the quickness, but does have the flash upset, and Mickey still healthy enough that G2 can't chase any further.
Neutrals to spawn. Teams are going to be prioritizing getting that next item ready for the oncoming dragon fight. I say that, but we're just getting another fight.
Right, they get the needlework out of Oscar in, and if G2 can get out of this, they dodge the Impale as well. Broken Blade, though, locked into the wall. G2 once again looking for the fight, but really not winning out on it.
I mean, it's into that lane, and they don't have deep flanking walls to leverage this time around.
They have to give it. They can't walk through this chokehold. There's no way they can do it.
I mean, they can try. Whether or not they'll be successful is an entirely other matter. There's the Ishtar's impact into the double Impale. Cosmic Radiance coming out as well as Broken Blade. Pops the stopwatch, uses the counter-strike as well for the 3-man stun. The quickness, the charm, the Tibbers! Apparently they can walk through it. Upstairs touching away. Razork's on his own in the midst of 4 members as Unsummer pops the Feather Storm to try and survive. Razork down! You doubt it, Finn! I never doubt G2!
But Skewmon find a massive Keeper's Verdict to gain them access. I say they couldn't walk through it, and I genuinely believed it. But the fact that Skewmon removed the key player of their comp means they can just walk through and Caps the most impactful one. He also has the Seeker's Arm Guard, and it allows him to play so aggressively and look for very creative plays.
Oscar chasing here. There's the Tibbers. Look at the damage coming out from Caps. Oscar looking for the needleworks. The Hammer Miss will dodge to disintegrate, but Caps has more cooldowns. LeBron called out. The red not enough. The Honey Fruit in range. He heals up. Quickness out from the Severing Bolt. He survives, and Mickey's going to chase Skewmon down with that face call. They're going to get close enough. Meanwhile, Broken Blade and Caps are pushing in the bot side. Humanoid trying to recall. Skewmon doesn't have the Keeper's Verdict, so shouldn't be able to stop Humanoid's reset. It's not even Humanoid, it's Razork. Cosmic Radiance coming out of Mickey. Comes down just in time to make him invulnerable. Skewmon looking for a little bit more damage. Unsummer has the Feather Storm in the flash here, and is keeping Razork busy. Unsummer gets one! Unsummer gets two! Skewmon gets the third! And now Fnatic rely on Humanoid to defend the base, but G2 are marching down mid, and Humanoid can only stand and watch as G2 grasp victory out of the jaws of defeat. Humanoid chased out by Tibbers. Broken Blade pops the stopwatch. Nothing left for Humanoid to do. G2-1.
What a crazy way for this game to end. Smiles across the faces of G2, because you're right, Medic. This game was not going their way at all. A single mistake from Fnatic cost them so much, and now it's G2 that lead the series.
What a game, what a game, what a game. Now we're going back to the break. I think what I'm best is that she doesn't teleport immediately when she ults. Like she'll ult, lock them down, and then teleport. So Galio can't actually ult you until kind of after the stun is gonna run out.
Oh, this is this is a bad position for Oscar, and he needs 4 minions, 3 more maybe to get that level 6. Flashes away from the public execution, but Skewmon comes across, and there's first blood for G2.
I mean, nicely done on the dive in the top lane. Broken Blades, I mean, he's just comfortably winning out on these trades now. The pickaxe doing a ton of work, and look at those cooldowns.
But still, doesn't really matter. Oscar really struggling in this match, and as LeBron shows up, probably will be the kill.
Hexagol to Maiden trying to get away, but the Shield of Daybreak won't be enough for the stun. And there's Broken Blade seal buffs quicker. It was a lot of fun watching Zanzara. And there are the grubs. The Glacial Prison going out onto Lavrov. He doesn't have a flash, and he doesn't have a hope of surviving. Razork gets Fnatic ticking over in the top lane. It was only when we got towards level 6, really, that the Fnatic bot lane began to really open up the game. So for Fnatic, shouldn't be too worried yet. Mickey flashing away here. Will land the Tangle Bombs onto Skewmon. Able to walk away for the moment. LeBron, though, might be collapsed on as Razzle can upset him on their way across. Solar Flare goes wide. LeBron in the permafrost, taken out by Humanoid.
Not really much on the map for them to play for. No Dragon. It will be spawning in about 20 seconds time, but we're seeing in the top lane matchup, by staying corrected, they're setting their sights on Caps.
Underneath the tower here, Glacial Prison is going to connect. There's a shockwave as well, and Caps is just clapped by Fnatic.
Oh, and Mickey loves this little trick where you do a tower dive. And I don't think I've seen Triforce Trundle in the jungle for a long time. Usually you see the tanky builds for the Trundle, but I really like this straight into force. It's going to be very, very strong in dueling, but also he will be quite squishy now. If that Arctic Prison collides with him, then he might get one-shots.
Razzle able to get away across the wall. Solar Flare coming down. Pop Blossom will land a 3-man knocker, but Mickey's already dead. Upset trying to join the phase. He'll jump across towards Broken Blade, who flashes over the wall towards Gromp. Humanoid coming in from the side as well as Broken Blade needs his team to defend it, but with the shockwave pulling him back, LeBron follows suit. Good blast cone away from Skewmon to get himself to safety, but Fnatic went out on the fight on the top side.
Great punish by Fnatic. They go way too deep here, and they get 2 kills on the bounce back here. Really good catch. This Trundle, if he ever gets a big tempo lead, they can just hit the tower for like 15 seconds, he will destroy any structure that stands in his way.
Caps trying to survive here with a shooter around, but it's Hans Summer who's locked up in the Hexa ultimatum. Humanoid will take down the bot lane tower while this is happening, so Fnatic find a tower, find a kill, and are looking for a little bit more. Justice Pun's away from the Glacial Prison. They won't be able to take down this full tower in mid.
So if Fnatic wants to fight, it has to be either when the Camille is coming from a weird angle or just preferably without her at all.
Oh, Shockwave onto 2. That's the TP immediately from Broken Blade. LeBron dives in with the Zenith Blade, but has to walk away. Fnatic now have Broken Blade in the midst of them. Good stun from LeBron. Humility will be able to kill him off, though. Meanwhile, on the top side of the fight, Broken Blade has to retreat. Hexagol made him into the public execution. Broken Blade low. Hero's entrance out as Oscar falls. But so far, 2 for 1 for Fnatic. Razzle continues to chase. Upset jumping forward, looking for a little bit more, but can't find Skewmon to get that damage down. Fnatic find 2 out of the fight.
What a crazy exchange. As you rightly said, Medic, a small advantage gained for Fnatic, but crucially...
Only Broken Blade has finished his second and isn't dominating the lane in the way that he did at the start, mostly because he doesn't really get to play in the 1v1 too much. Humanoid caught out with the public execution. Riptail down, Glacial Prison lands the stun onto Broken Blade, hits the hero's entrance as well, as Humanoid's able to flash away. Meanwhile, Solar Flare on towards Mickey. He flashes over the wall as well to escape. Oscar in and continues to push out, doesn't have the TP. G2 won't play for the other gun. Fnatic will get out. Pretty damaged, but relatively unscathed.
I feel like that was a misclick from Razzle, because as he was on low priority on this Chem Dragon.
Glacial Prison gonna land here. TP coming out from Broken Blade immediately. Skewmon looking for the trade back in, and Razzle melts! That's a subjugation if I've ever seen one. Broken Blade looking for a little bit more. It's Mickey going in for that flank. Pop Blossom only onto 2 and onto 2 tanks at that. The public execution onto Humanoid on the back line. Mickey's already dead. Humanoid uses the stopwatch and uses the flash to escape. Explosive shot on Skewmon. Hexagon made him going back onto Broken Blade as Oscar tries to trade back in. Broken Blade flashes out. Hans Summer on the front line now has to flash as well. Upset flashes forward. Doesn't quite get the resets. Can't quite get the damage down. G2 walk away with 2.
For a second, I thought we were in Sweden. But Upset, he ran out. But the blinking health bars from G2 walk away with all 5 members alive.
It looks so juicy, you know you have the reset.
Mickey does have the flash about to come off cooldown, but doesn't have it in time. Caught out with the Solar Flare. LeBron now on the wrong side of the wall, but he can knock back with that Mega Blast Cone. Caps has the TP, he's in the bot lane right now.
We're seeing Trundle come back because I think this game really highlights the strength of this champion. Those pillars have caught so many people off guard. The Humanoid level 3, and now the Mickey again, and the Subjugate. I really love this pick by Skewmon, and he also shreds this Baron so fast.
Razzle has so much to get in here. The shockwave hits onto LeBron, but somehow still standing. Razzle will take him. The Baron resetting importantly here for Fnatic. Skewmon jumped on the Winds of War. The taunt not enough from Caps as Razzle goes back in. Dash away from Broken Blade. Oscar in looking for that hook shot wall dive. No tower here to save Caps, as Fnatic can now turn their attentions towards the Baron.
And I think they should. Skewmon is desperately trying to heal up. He will have a smite available to try and flash in and steal it, but I don't know if they'll even try.
BB has the TP, but nowhere really to go apart from that top lane tri-bush. Skewmon has the flash. They have no vision in the pit right now. Skewmon puts a pillar down. Won't get in range to flash. Fnatic secure the prize.
And it's actually able to flash out.
Humanoid connecting that shockwave also, I think, made G2 very indecisive.
Oh, Razzle caught out here. In the midst of 5 members of G2, he tries to step forward. Public execution onto Humanoid as well, who has no flash. Hans Summer dives in with the killer instinct and dodges the shockwave. He orders the minions, though. though. There's the hero's entrance coming out. Hans Summer rooted for the moment as Mickey landed a good pop. Blossom back in, but the Zenith played onto him. LeBron's still alive. Upset opening up with the big guns. Looking for those resets. Oscar in on the flank. Humanoid Upset and Oscar feel they can take this 3v5. Oscar with a tactical sweep. G2 with a tactical retreat. And they'll get out. Playing around vision. Broken Blade gets the slow on Razzle with the Solar Flare. Only gets a clip onto the edge of the Sejuani. Drake down to 9,000. Mickey with the pop. Blossom landed onto 4. Oscar in diving in as well, but there's about execution on the backline with the hero's entrance following up. Hans Summer dives on, and Razzle goes down. So does Upset, and G2 have found the fight they've been looking for all series long. Skewmon though will die to Humanoid, trying to chase a little bit too far. Mickey trying to escape here as well, but he's still got quite a health bar to work with. Caps on the there's double TP.
I mean, what options does he really have? The Dragon's going to go down. I mean, Mickey's, he's in enemy territory, and I do not think that there is any way that he can escape to. That's going to be another kill over to G2.
G2 now with the control ward in the pit, they will see that this has been begun. Broken Blade looking for Humanoid. Upset takes his attention away from the Baron and instead towards the members of G2. Mickey looking for that flank, has a control ward behind the pit here, and they need to spot him out. Pop Blossom onto 2 heroes. Entrance coming out as well, and there's no real follow-up from the Pop Blossom. Oscar and dived in with Hexagon Maiden, but he's dived into his demise as G2 find 1. Fnatic peel off the Baron and try and get away with their lives, and they'll manage to do so. Razok on the wrong side of the wall, but he escapes. Mickey sending a clone in to spot G2 on the Baron, and once again this game, the team that starts the Baron does not secure it.
I mean, that felt so indecisive from Fnatic. When Mickey ulted, to me, that was their avenue to finish the Baron. That's what they wanted to use it for.
Lane wave, but G2 have control over the river. A spot in the winners match on the line. Possibility of a ticket not only to the finals but to MSI as the public execution goes on to Humanoid. There's the hero's entrance to follow up, and Broken Blade able to dodge away for the moment, but Mickey, Razok and Humanoid all able to escape. Upset untouched, unscathed so far in this fight. Mickey dies to the Void Seeker. Oscar on the chase onto Skewmond as well. Might continue to go in. Upset jumping forward. Caps on the prop looking for the flank themselves. Justice punch away. Upset still has his ultimate, has flash, has cleanse. There's all the tools at his disposal to really turn around a team fight. TP towards the bot side from Caps.
G2's just dancing around Fnatic right now. Razork, he's looking, he goes in.
He goes in as soon as he sees Caps flying across his head. Broken Blade though kills off Razork, and Hans Summer cleans up the rest. He'll find 3. G2 with the Baron buff, but looking not at the Drake, but at the Nexus.
And it's G2 that comes out on top in this series. They constantly find these late game teamfights, game after game. They just show that individually they weave around these zones of control, and they just use their spells in a better way than Fnatic.
A 10-1-5 performance from Hans Summer. The carry comes up clutch once more as they set their sights on the Nexus.
It's a tale as old as time. You can change the words, but you can't change the story. G2 defeat Fnatic.
And you gotta be really critical if you're Fnatic right now. You gotta feel really bad about this, because I think they really came in and expected to do better. But there is a lower bracket run. Their season doesn't end here, and they still need to bounce back, because we know Fnatic is a team that can be at their very best, but right now they just haven't really found their footing against G2.
But this is also why G2 as an organization always get given the benefit of the doubt, because when playoffs rolls around, their players step up, and while they're